gentlemen, welcome to a special collaboration of two of your favorite podcasts. Brandon from the Badass American Heroes podcast and Blake from the Noise Pollution podcast. Coming together once a month to bring you a special episode. Are you ready? Let's go!
Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Swapcast, brought to you by Brandon, which is myself from Badass American Heroes podcast, and my boy Blake from the Noise Pollution podcast. We're back. Blake, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's happening, dude?
I'm not even going to say I'm grinding because I'm over that. I'm surviving. I'm a survivor. Da, da, da.
Oh yeah, dude. Grinding is so last month, man. I'm fucking over it too.
Yeah, I'm surviving right now.
Talking realsies, real life, real quick. I hate the term grind, but dude, it's real life. Like real job, day job has been killing me. Thus, the lack of episodes from myself. But whatever. So
yeah. Yeah, samesies. It's getting intense out there in the real world.
It is. It surely is.
I'm taking a much needed couple weekends. Going to be doing some traveling, getting out, vacationing a little bit. So I'm going to recharge my old batteries, come back pumped, super strong, and ready to kick ass and get my dick sucked. What? That's the saying, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Wait, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I think that's the way it goes.
Keep rolling. Don't stop the tape. Just keep rolling.
Okay. We got a lot to talk about tonight, Blake. We got a big show. This is Swapcast, number 7?
This is Swapcast number 7.
Swapcast number 7. It's November now. We're not in October anymore.
You know, I got to, real quick before we move further here, I got a quick shout out to the Big Dick Daddy himself, Ross Patterson, for coming out last month for Swapcast number 6. That was fucking great.
That was awesome. On his anniversary.
Yeah. Of all fucking days.
Gave his wife and child sleeping pills so that they would go to bed and then came on the podcast with us. That's dedication.
It is, and it really shows his true colors as well, that he would do that. Yeah. To do that anyway. He's a man of his word. He surely did keep it.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so thank you, Ross, for being a part of this. We greatly appreciate you.
Yeah, and again, for anybody that hasn't checked it out already, go check out Ross's shows, the Ross Patterson Revolution, Drinking Bros podcast. Blake and I both listen religiously, and we're part of that podcast, that community. So go check those out and, watch all of Ross's movies. I think a lot of his stuff is free on Amazon Prime. So go check it out, watch, support. Ross is a great dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Drinking Bros, Ross Patterson Revolution, all that shit. Big, like Brandon said, big fans. Also, I want to give another real quick shout out, if I may, Brandon. Just a real quick shout out to the Hellbound with Halos podcast. They gave me a little shout out on their most recent episode. Some cool dudes and a chick on that show. If you take to the likes of what Brandon and I have going on with these Swapcasts and our both individual podcasts, go give them a shout. Yeah, let me try that again. Professional level here. Go check their podcast out as well. It's really cool. So thank you guys over to Hellbound Halos for giving me a little shout out. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I like their podcast too. I've listened to it as well. And firefighters over there, right? Those guys are firefighters.
Yeah, they're both firefighters. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So check that out. Support the Thin Red Line over there and our first responders. And check it out. Hellbound with Halos podcast. Check them out on Instagram too. I know that they're pretty active on there. Yeah.
Brandon, can I also say something?
This is a Swapcast, so you can say whatever the fuck you want.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I just want to just kind of throw this out there real quick. So this week, if you've been following myself on social media, you'll see that I have been featured this week on Podbean. So as a podcast, I don't know if it's podcast of the month. I'm not the podcaster of the month. It's just I've been featured on Podbean's list of podcasts to check out for this month of November. So big thanks to Podbean for doing that. Makes me feel real good, and I appreciate all the new love I've been getting for all the new subscribers and all the amazing increase in downloads and new people checking out the show. And I just want to say a quick thank you, man. I appreciate you guys so much, and thank you for being a part of all of this with Brandon and I as well. Because it's not just me; it's Brandon here too. I feel like we do Swapcast more than our own individual episodes anymore these days.
It's getting to be that way, but you know what? I love it, and I will keep doing it for as long as people keep listening. So it's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we talk about it often about how eventually we're just going to just become one podcast as it is. I feel like that's just like we both like talk about it offline, and we're like, oh yeah, like, you know, we definitely want to do that, but right now, like, you know, we just kind of want to do our own thing, but yet we still end up mostly only doing this anyway.
Well, and you know, we've kind of said this too, is like you and I are buds. We talk all the time, almost every day. And so this podcast is, again, like, for us to do the Swapcast, it's a way for us to sit down and catch up with each other too, and kind of shoot the shit and share what's on our minds with each other as well as with everybody else. So, you know, that's another great benefit to the Swapcast, and that's why I enjoy doing it. And yeah, eventually, you know, we'll probably get married and join the podcast together, and we'll just do it from our beautiful house somewhere.
That's right. Yeah, our house in the hills.
Yeah.
Or in Texas. I dream of Texas.
I do too, especially at this point.
I know.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there to why I want to move to Texas.
Oh yeah, same.
But first off, before we get to that, Blake, we were talking to each other on video just a couple minutes ago, and there looks like maybe you've got like some lint or something on your face underneath your nose area. What do you got going on there?
Oh, you're talking about my dirty Sanchez.
Yeah, you're a gay porn star mustache.
Yeah. What's I got called Tom Selleck from what's that, Miami Vice?
Easy, buddy. You're not there yet. You're not at Tom Selleck level.
Not yet. However, I've been called a resemblance of it when I do have my amazing mustache.
You need a Hawaiian shirt. It is.
I do need a Hawaiian
November,
shirt. Which means no shade November.
I like, yeah. What's special about November, and why are you growing a mustache, Blake?
Well, first of
besides that mustaches are awesome.
Yeah, right. Now, the fact that I can grow a mustache and grow it well, it's a great thing, and I'm incredibly humbled by it. Two, by the end of this month, I'll look like a creepy pedophile. Hence is the reason why we're not doing a video podcast tonight. I feel like we would get so many dislikes on YouTube. People view my mustache. It'll really scare a lot of people away. So anyway, so it's November, right? You hear the thing on social media, No Shave November, Movember, all those words, stuff like that. So that's what we got going on. So if you guys have never heard of the organization Movember, it is one of the top nonprofit organizations out there that raise money for men's health. Now we're talking testicular cancer, suicide awareness, prostate cancer, PTSD, mental health, and it's a surrounded, encompass for men. And so for the month of November, it's people, they don't shave or they grow a mustache or whatever they can do just to support Movember. And so for this month, Brandon and I have actually teamed up and created a Movember campaign. And so we did set a goal for our fundraiser, which is $200, and you can go donate. And please, we highly encourage that. I post pictures of my mustache progression up weekly for this whole month, and I'll be donating to the campaign as well. I've just been so busy, I haven't had the opportunity to get there quite yet, but I promise you guys, I certainly will. Just go to www.movember.com/badnoise. And donate. You'll see both the Noise Pollution Podcast and Badass American Heroes Podcast logo up there. You'll know it's us. And also the link for that campaign will be in the show notes of this episode. So, So guys, Brandon and I really appreciate anything you guys can do. $1, $10, whatever. If you guys can throw anything there, I mean, I don't know. Well, I'll think of something to reward you guys with as well. On top of that, not just just the purpose of just giving to a good organization. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So if that makes you people feel a little bit better about the whole thing, but go check them out, Movember.com.
Yeah, boom, Movember, baby.
Yep. So hence the reason why I'm growing out a sweet and sexy mustache. Ladies, get in line. You know what I'm saying.
Get in line to look the other way.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Yes. Me and my fucking creepy mustache. But hey, it's growing. And, pictures are deceiving for this mustache, okay? I have to say. You look at it right now, and it just, like you said, it just looks like some dirt on my upper lip. No. By the end of the month, it will be like full blossoms. Like, it'll be amazing. And people will be jealous of the glory of my mustache growing capabilities.
I'll take your word for it.
Oh, you'll see. You'll see. I promise. It's great. Like I said, ladies, get in line. I mean, I'm a married man, but it's nothing's wrong with looking.
Well, yeah, and it's all for a good cause. So
yeah,
that's
in the end,
important.
it's all for a good cause. Yeah. So again, one more time, Movember. That's with an M instead of an N. Movember.com/bad noise. Donate today. Don't delay. We really appreciate it.
I like that. Donate today. Don't delay.
Yep. Yeah, I just came up with that right now.
Good. I like it.
Yeah. Real quick. So, like we talk about real life grindy stuff. We're past the grind stuff now. We're just doing real life shit at this point. So tonight on my way home from my work, I've had such a long stint of work this past week. Hence the reason why I haven't released an episode since the last Swapcast. Anyway, not looking for sorrow or weeping or anything like that. So I was driving home from work tonight, and I was coming down as a big hill. I come down just right before I get home, and I'm driving down this hill, and I see a massive fucking fireball shoot across the sky. I'm talking huge, like Donald Trump, huge, and it was really cool. And what I'm getting at here is that I put it on Facebook and asked if anyone else saw it. Like, there's a lot of people around. Hopefully someone else fucking saw this giant fireball, right? So then I'm at the point to where I'm just so tired and overworked that I'm questioning whether I hallucinated the whole thing or not. But there's an update, Brian. I know you commented on that Facebook post about doing drugs together. No, so my brother commented on it. He said he saw it, and a friend of mine saw it as well. So there you go. 100% confirmed.
So the three of you did drugs together.
Yeah, maybe that too. I don't know. But yeah. So it's pretty cool, man. I think a once in a lifetime thing. How often do you see? I mean, you see shooting stars, but this was like a fucking meteorite.
No, that's pretty cool, man. That's the beginning of how the world ends. The aliens just landed, and yeah, we're all done for.
No, come on.
I don't know.
No. Well, speaking of aliens, of the illegal kind, that is. I want to get your Segway Sally coming in for the win right there.
Wrap it up, folks. Give him the belt, Segway champ.
I want to get your thoughts and opinions without getting too political here on this apparent massive migrant caravan that's heading towards America at this point as we speak right now. What are your thoughts on this, Brandon?
The what?
The migrant caravan.
I mean, I haven't heard anything about this. Has it been in the news or something?
I mean, just a little bit.
Really?
It hasn't been overplayed at all.
Did you get this? Was it a reputable news source that reported on this? Yeah. I haven't heard anything about this. Oh, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, you mean like the 14,000 people that are coming from like Nicaragua and all these countries in South America and have been literally terrorizing their way across South America until they get to the border of the United States and Mexico? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the one, man. Exactly. That's exactly the one I was talking about.
Yeah. Now that you put it like that, I do remember seeing just a couple news stories about the migrant caravan that wants to come into America and break all of our immigration laws and expect us to feel sorry for them.
Yeah, so what's your take on this whole thing? Because I mean, look, our media system that we have in this country for the most part is pretty broken. The media hasn't performed the job of what the true purpose of the media is in like such a fucking long time. And the whole thing of fake news and all that shit, like, you know, what do you believe anymore? You know, and
So
like this. Go ahead.
I'll break this up into two parts. The media is all about getting reactions out of people right now. They're not reporting the news in the way that it's happening. They're reporting news and stories in the way that they think is going to get a reaction. So they play this footage of, you know, these poor kids that are in this caravan that aren't eating and don't have shoes or whatever, or these people that, well, we just want a better life. They're not showing you all the criminals that are mixed in with this group, the potential terrorist threats. They're not reporting on the fact that we have no way to vet who these people are, what they're done, what their criminal background is like. It's just literally 14,000 people walking into your house and you have no idea who they are. But the media is not reporting it like that. They're reporting it as a sob story and like, oh, look at how destitute and how broken down and downtrodden these people are. And they're just showing you the pieces that are going to get that knee-jerk emotional reaction instead of actually like reporting real facts. So that's what the media is doing. Now, how I feel about this migrant caravan, like, yo, we need that. This is why we need some kind of border security, because how many of these countries, I mean, I saw the footage, I think it was when this migrant caravan was crossing into Mexico, where they literally just stomped across the border because there was no real border. It was like a fence with a couple of guards that were overwhelmed. And this is why we need some kind of security so that people can't just waltz into our country when we have no idea who they are, right? So if these people are who they say they are and they're downtrodden people that just want to come in and work, that's great. But we have no idea to know if that's the truth or not. And then the other thing about this caravan that concerns me is how have they done this huge travel? Who is funding this? Who is paying for their meals? Who is paying for their gas? Who is paying for their clothes? Who is in this caravan? Like, we know nothing. All we know is that there's a bajillion people and they want in our country, and they want to break our laws to get in our country. That's it. That's all we got.
So that's your take on the whole thing?
That's my take, yeah.
Okay. So you know how like my 2 cents is that this whole caravan thing kind of just pops up out of nowhere like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's like it's on the front headlines of every fucking news outlet in the country, right? And
yeah,
what you said right there just a minute ago about who's funding this whole thing, the whole thing is like super, it smells like shit to me. It smells like shit.
Yeah, it's a little sketchy, right?
Just a little. And you know, names that come to my head when I think of things like this is Clinton's and George Soros. Now we all know how fucking corrupt the whole Clinton entourage is. The Clinton Foundation and Hillary herself, Bill himself, a dirty old fuck.
Yeah.
And George Soros, which is that's his job, is like what he has, not necessarily his job per se, but what he has done over the course of, I don't know, however fucking long, is that he goes into these countries, like, you know, the big clash a couple years ago with Ukraine and was it Russia, I believe? They had the big the big thing a couple years ago. That was a George Soros funded operation, 100%.
Yeah.
And all that dude wants is just more money, more power, and he's gonna use his financial assets to gain whatever he fucking, for whatever reason, I don't know. I haven't looked super far into it, but those are like actual facts. It's not fake news. That's not some far conspiracy theory shit. That's truth. that George Soros, does these things. And this whole thing smells like George Soros and Hillary Clinton, all in a nutshell. And, the media, like you said, is always reporting on the sad story about these people that just want to come and find refuge and stuff like that. But having, what they said, like, 5,000, something like that, 4,000 or 5,000 people that's in this caravan.
Yeah, some crazy number like that.
Yeah. So to me, in my eyes, and my opinion is that this is not a migration. That's an invasion. You know what I mean? If you have to cross more than 2 countries to get to one, that's an invasion. You know what I mean? And I know, like, we do have, like, Homeland Security, Border Patrol, and stuff like that, but their numbers are so low as far as staffing goes on the southern border. It's like scary low. And I know that El Presidente has authorized National Guard troops to go down there, and has authorized, I think, 1,200 Marines. And I did see somewhere about, I think it was like a battalion-sized element from the 101st Airborne. They got orders to go down there as well to support that entire shitstorm that's about to consume the southern border of this country.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a mess, that's for sure. And I mean, we have to be real about this. When that many people say, hey, we want to come in your country and we don't care what the immigration laws are, we don't care that we're breaking the law to do this, what are you supposed to do? I mean, and if you let all those people in, you might as well just tear down all of our borders, because you're showing people that, hey, we don't even respect our own laws enough to enforce them.
Right. And a lot of people are on Trump, and I'm not the biggest Trump supporter out there, don't get me wrong. However, there's a lot of hypocrisy that we find in the media when it comes to when they talk about Trump and his views on immigration and the wall and border security, etc. The liberal media tends to neglect to even like go back to the Obama administration. And I looked up some of the numbers today. Obama has deported like I don't know 1.8 million people, and 91% of those people had criminal backgrounds. 91%. That's more than a fucking truckload. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not a single school bus of just bad people. That's a fuck ton. A fuck ton of people.
I mean, that's 1 million people right there.
Yeah. And it's Trump's getting roasted in the media. That's one of the biggest like attacking points for opposing political belief is Trump's policies and views on our border security and stuff like that. And really, you're right though, Brandon, because we can't just open the fucking floodgates, right? That's no one can do that. No country can do that. Australia can't do that. We always talk about Australia as like as the country that America should strive to be like. Australia won't even do that. The only reason Australia is even a country, or what Australia was designed for, was to send violent criminals to, so they can just go there and die. That was what Australia was designed for, or not designed for, but back then what it was used for. All the creepy crawlies and shit.
Yeah, and I mean, how many other countries are there in the world where you can just go there with no passport, no background checks, no anything, and you can just walk in and be like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, let me in. I'm knocking on the door. Let me in.
And this is the problem that I have, man, with the media and these celebrities that are all talking about this. These are all people that are so out of touch with everybody else in the country, that are living in houses with private security, with big giant gates and walls and gated neighborhoods and gated communities and private airplanes and all this stuff. They are so out of touch with the rest of the world. And, to take it back to Ross Patterson, he said this stuff. If you're so for all this open border stuff, hey, open up your own house, man. let 10 or 20 immigrants come crashing in your house.
Yeah, you got the space for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but nobody's willing to do that. None of these people want their kids to go to school with these immigrant kids. They're putting them all in private school. They want the rest of the country to carry the burden of supporting these people by raising taxes and all this stuff that goes along with it, man. And it makes my brain just explode. I don't know why so many people are going along with this. I understand that people want to be sympathetic to those that aren't as fortunate as us, but there's a right and a wrong way to do it. None of us were, if you go back in your family history far enough, you have somebody that immigrated into this country. And that goes even for Native Americans. None of us were actually born here. We all came here from somewhere else. So there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. My great-great-grandparents had to come in the right way. Your great-great-grandparents had to come in the right way. And if you allow all these people to come in and just disregard all of our laws, well, then what the fuck is the point of putting any more laws in the books, man? Like, let's just call it a night.
No, right, definitely. And if you look at European countries, Germany, France, stuff like that, when a lot of people were fleeing from like Syria and stuff like that, and the fucking floodgates opened up in those European countries because these people didn't know where to go. They're escaping, war zones and stuff like that, which I can't even imagine for one, being in that type of position that those people are. However, violent crime has spiked so much in those European countries that allowed these asylum seekers to come and stay and stuff like that. They have there was a huge increase in violent crime, amongst these people because there was no vetting process. They weren't going through the proper procedures, parameters, stuff like that. There was no vetting. They were just, hey, come on in. Look, it's here. It's yours. Come on in. Make yourself at home. Women are getting fucking dragged down in the subways and getting raped and shit by 50 men. It's seen some of those articles, man. It's fucking disturbing as shit. And some of those videos, there's just literally hordes of men and they're dragging women down into the fucking subways and shit.
And look what happened to the politicians that allowed that to happen over there. They all got voted out, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the citizens of that country said, oh, fuck no, this was a huge mistake. Now you lost your job.
Yeah, you have shown us that you are completely incompetent at making proper laws and putting your citizens first, that you let this happen. So fuck you, you're done. You're done. No, it ain't happening no more. Fuck you.
I'm going to make a little bit of a comparison here, you and I are both kind of gun guys. Maybe me a little bit more than you.
No, I'm a gun guy.
Yeah, see, we're gun guys. So when we go in and we buy a gun, we have to undergo a background check. Doesn't matter how many times we've bought a gun before. We have to undergo a background check. Doesn't matter where you're buying it, whatever the situation is, you have to undergo a background check. Why the fuck would we let thousands of people into our country without giving them a background check? If you go get a job, you have to undergo a background check. So why would we take all these other things that you have to have a background check for, but then say, it's fine, you can come in here and we'll just take your word for it?
Right. I had a really interesting thought, but it literally it grew wings and it flew off, man. That is my brain tonight. My brain is scrambled eggs. Remember the old don't do drugs commercial? This is your brain. This is your brain on weed, brain. And it just cracks the fucking egg. That's my fucking brain. Oh
yeah.
I did the weed and my brain is fried.
Yeah. I did the weeds.
Oh my god! Speaking of that, real quick, totally sidebar here, but so with the primary elections and all, Jeff Sessions is now he resigned. Yes, and
legal weed.
Yeah. Did you see that meme with him? And it was Jeff Sessions tried to kill himself with a marijuana.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a picture with a joint in his mouth.
Oh man,
I fucking died, man, when I saw that shit.
That was hilarious.
That was so good. So good.
Oh, I love that one.
And speaking of weed, real quick, second sidebar of the night. With the primary elections, 3 more states got approved for some form of cannabis reform. 3 more states.
Well, and hopefully, maybe now with Jeff Sessions not being the Attorney General anymore, we can push that bad boy through.
Goddamn right, man.
Federal level, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Oh, dude. Yeah, that would be fucking lovely. Yeah, I think it was Michigan, Missouri, and man, I can't remember the third state. Was there a third state?
I thought there was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's 3 states. I can't remember off the top of my head. And like the professional podcaster that I am, I don't have any articles pulled up.
Of course not. It's for the amateurs.
Yeah, that's amateur hour shit right there. This isn't fucking Alex Jones. Come on. Speaking of Alex Jones,
that's
I'm done.
The third sidebar. Nah, man, the caravan, I'm over it. Like, we need to turn all those people around and tell them to go right the fuck back home. Yep, I'm sorry, that was a long walk. You should have thought about that before you started. And the people that drug their kids out of there and put their kids through this, like, shame on you. You're a fucking shit parent. And people are going to shit on me for saying that. But, dude, you just drug your kid across multiple different countries on the hope that you could break the law to get into somewhere you shouldn't be. There's better ways to emigrate. It's going to be a hot mess. Like you talked about, the military is going down there. I think something's going to happen, down there at the border where it's hot and things get crazy. You and I have both been in combat. We know about like the fog of war, and something is going to happen, and some young soldier or Marine is going to feel threatened and is going to shoot a person in the caravan, and all hell is going to break loose, and it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a PR nightmare, and a lot of innocent people are going to lose their lives, and a lot of innocent service members are going to get caught up in a shitstorm because they did what they thought was right at the moment, and it's going to be a fucking mess, man.
See, I'm gonna counter your prediction here. So if and when this migrant caravan does show up at the border, they show up there, right? And a lot of our assets are down there. They're waiting. Because of this massively politically driven society that we have today, it's going to be a long process of going through all these people. And, there's a lot of land down in the southern areas, Arizona, New Mexico, wherever else. I'd put money on it that they're going to be setting up camps in some of these locations. And then they're going to go through the process of vetting all of these people. Priorities being, families, women, children, priorities. And then, moving into men, because, statistically speaking, the men are the ones who, commit the crimes and stuff like that. It's like we did when we were in Iraq, right? We'd be out on patrol or wherever else. We'd be doing like a KLE or some fucking village or whatever. And we would go around with that fucking device, whatever it's called. I don't even know if I'm even allowed to say the name of it.
Just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, just to be on the safe side. But, that we would scan their like eye retinas and stuff like that, and then they would be ran through a very complex system to see if they were scanned before and if they were tied to some sort of like TAC or whatever else. You know what I mean? Some sort of process like that I would assume will take place. I don't foresee a giant like just fucking bloodbath. Not in this fucking politically driven society. That would be like the literal worst thing for President Trump, and for himself. Like that would be the worst nightmare that he could face as a president.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with you. And it's not that that's what I want to happen.
That's just your prediction.
I mean, we both know how things can go, and when you get one young soldier or Marine who maybe isn't as experienced as some other people, and all it takes is one mistake, man.
No, definitely, and that shit has happened, in the Iraq-Afghanistan wars and stuff like that. So I'm not, saying that's not a possibility. This is how I feel it would happen once they come marching on our doorstep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that it's just my opinion on it, my counter opinion to yours.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah. I could definitely see that happening too,
retrospect a little bit. Now shit starts getting hairy. Like there obviously is going to be some sort of ROE. If people don't know ROE, rules of engagement, set in place for the service members on the ground there. If fucking rocks start getting chucked and stuff like that. Rocks. Yeah, they can fucking kill you. So. Like what was ROE if we got a fucking rock chucked at us? Like we can't just fucking smoke a person.
No,
for doing
we couldn't
that.
start
We would just keep
blasting
rolling.
people.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
whatever. You threw a rock, fuck you. You got one on me. And we fucking had that happen too. But we couldn't just roll up and fucking smoke them and roll out.
Well, we'll see what happens, man. I don't know. I'm over the whole migrant thing. Like, let's just beef that wall up and say, hey, go away.
You get
Remember those pepper ball paintball guns that we had?
Yeah.
For like crowd control?
Oh yeah.
Why don't we just get a shit ton of those and just sit up on top of the fence and like pop 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 pop.
Even that would be a fucking political nightmare.
Oh yeah.
Anything that happens, if it comes out of the end of a barrel, whatever, lethal, non-lethal, it doesn't matter. The media's gonna fucking misconstrue it, and it's gonna get chewed up and spat out and twisted a million different ways. The media is gonna be fucking crawling all over that place. It's gonna be fucking crazy, man.
We could shoot them with squirt guns from the 99-cent store, and we'd still be the bad guys.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. Squirt
military
guns filled with
members
gasoline.
use high-powered water dispersion devices to break up immigrant caravan.
Yeah. And you just see some like E2 Marine just like with like a little like pew, 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 little squirt gun.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I'm over the migrant caravan. What else are we talking about, Blake?
Well, we just got, speaking of the whole politics thing, here's Segway Sally back at it again for a second time tonight. Is the primary elections are over. And, Brandon, I have a question.
Who what?
I have a question for you. So,
okay.
So Democrats take majority over the House, okay?
Yes.
Where are all the fires and where's all the protests at? Where are they? Where's all the screeching
I'll tell you where they're all at. They're all at work.
They're all at work, exactly.
They're all at work.
Everyone's at work. Every big Republican person I see on social media has come out and just said, "Yeah, hey, Democrats, congrats, you won. You won the House. Like, good job, you did it." And that's it.
Yeah.
There's no fucking screeching conservatives out in the street. They're not fucking rioting. They're not crying. They're not. Yeah, I'm sure they're going on their fucking social medias and plugging some shit away. Everyone does that because everyone feels safe behind their keyboards. But, we're not out there holding fucking, pussy rallies and stuff like that. Grab this pussy. I'm just throwing that one out there.
And this kind of stuff happens after every time a president gets in office. The House changes. It's just the way it is. So it's not like this was a big surprise that nobody expected to happen. And, yeah, man, politics in general, like, it's all just so fucking shitty. It's all so stupid. And I'm getting to the point in my life where, okay, right side, Republican, left side, Democrat, you both fucking suck. I hate all of you.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more with that statement right there. I hate our current stance on how we elect people. It does not give...
Here's a crazy idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Blake. Sorry.
I was just going to...
Here's a crazy idea, man. Let's stop putting party affiliations on the ballots. And you just have to vote for somebody based on who they are and what their actual, platform is.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
That's, literally what I was kind of getting to right there, yeah. Our current system does not allow any other party an opportunity. So if you look at the House, there are 0 other parties in the House. You know, it's Republican, minority, Democrat, majority. 0% anything else. Now in the Senate, there's like 2% libertarian, I think, or it says I think it says other. So which I'd imagine is probably libertarian. However, I want to take this to a positive note real quick, and I did read that there was 112 elected veterans that moved into the Senate and Congress and stuff like that. So that's fucking good news to me right there.
Yeah, that's absolutely, man. Like, these are people, men and women from both parties that have been out in the shit, have proven that they're solid leaders, that they know what they're doing, that they love America, and, you know, Republican, Democrat, or some other thing, anybody that's had the balls to go out and serve and go fight for your country, fuck, man, run for office, you know, do it right, proudly support other veterans, and, you know, get out there and make things better. And that's how you make change, you know. Especially with my podcast, the Badass American Heroes podcast, I always talk about, like, oh, we got to take care of each other. We got to make change. That's the way to go do it. Go run for office, man. Get elected and then fight to pass new laws that help protect other veterans.
No, I couldn't agree more. And, you know, my big thing on this is that, you know, veterans out there who may be listening, you know, we all have such like an innate ability that you cannot learn anywhere else in this world. You know, you go to combat, you learn things and grow in such a very specific way that you're over there, you get in a situation, you figure it out, you come home. To take that, translate it to the civilian world, that means you're a problem solver. And a fucking goddamn good one, too. Because if you can do it in the most stressful situation known in the world, which is combat, there's nothing that veterans can't accomplish. You know what I mean? And to see see that many newly elected veterans going into government, big branch government at that, that's great news, man. I don't agree with you there. I don't care what party you're on. Democrat, Republican, you have your own personal beliefs. Everyone has their own personal beliefs with whatever political affiliation that you follow. You know, I think that's just good news across the board.
I couldn't agree more, man. And that tells me also that veterans are getting out and voting, and that's a great thing too.
Yeah, man. So, do you watch SNL? Yeah, me either.
No, because they are a bunch of fucking idiots, man.
I know you saw that. I can't remember the comedian's name, so listeners, roast me if you want. On SNL, that made fun of Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah,
you saw that, right?
I saw.
Okay. So if there's no Dan Crenshaw, he is now in Congress, right? He ran for Congress.
Yeah, okay. Congress. Yeah.
Well, he won in his district, and he's now a member of Congress. So first of all, congrats to you, Dan Crenshaw. He's a veteran. He lost his one eye. I think it was an IED, attack or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I know it was an injury.
Yeah.
Service-related injury.
Service-related injury overseas. So I guess that one comedian on SNL, he cracked a joke at him, something about his eye and his eye patch and stuff like that. And then the veteran community uproared. Big time, right? Big time. So I already asked you a couple times tonight, what's your opinion first? I think I'll throw mine out there real quick on this matter. The veteran community, I would say the vast majority of us, or I would say, is mostly conservative or Republican, and then libertarian, and then a very small percentage, I would say, is probably Democratic or liberal. Now, a big thing a lot of these veterans talk about is snowflakes and liberals and liberal tears and all that shit like that. So this guy on SNL pokes a joke at a veteran who lost his eye who's running for Congress. He cracks a joke. The veteran community goes in a fucking uproar. Oh, this guy made fun of a wounded vet, But I smell hypocrisy. I smell a big hypocrisy amongst the veteran community. You know as well as I do that veterans have I can't say not all, but a lot of veterans have very thick skin. They can take a joke, they can take a punch, and keep going on with their day. It doesn't fucking matter. We've seen the worst of mankind. Like, words from a person's mouth that has no reflection in your life means absolutely nothing. And then I see this happen, and then the veteran community uproars and fucking starts crying about it. I smell hypocrisy. So we make fun of each other all the time, and we make fun of everyone else all the time. But someone cracks a joke at, someone who's running for Congress about his eye. It's like, oh shit, the world just fucking lit fire, and it's burning down. So I'm gonna have to look this up here in a minute. But the comedian out there, like his dad, like he died in 9/11. Did you know that? He was a firefighter.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So I'm sure he's he's not prone to some dark humor here and there, right? Like those who understand dark humor have probably been through some pretty shitty shit in their life, and they can move on from it and probably laugh about something dark one of these days because they've kind of like walked the fire a little bit. And I don't know, man. I just smell hypocrisy in the veteran community with that. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, it is hypocrisy. I look at it just slightly different, and I say, like, yeah, we have dark humor, and that's our way of dealing with stuff, and maybe that was his way of dealing with it too. It's complicated, man, because are there some things that you probably shouldn't joke about? And, Dan Crenshaw's a hero, Navy SEAL, all that stuff. And I know that he wasn't offended by it, but especially when PTSD is such a big thing in the veteran community and we're losing 22 veterans a day that kill themselves, is that really the thing that we should be joking about? Probably not. Now, should we all get in a big giant uproar and be like, oh my God, this dude needs to be fired, he's a piece of shit? No, like, it was a joke, but is that the best thing to joke about when we have 22 vets a day that kill themselves? I don't think so. I think, and I mean, it wasn't even that funny of a joke anyway.
It really wasn't.
At least when we do,
it really wasn't.
At least when we do dark humor, like, it's hilarious.
Right. The comedian's Pete Davidson. That's his name.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's fine if I had lost my eye and somebody made that joke about me, I'd probably be like, oh, you're a fucking dick. But
yeah, whatever.
I'm
like,
not gonna get on social media and yeah. But here's my hypocrisy thing with it is, SNL is pretty liberal, right?
Oh, for
sure. A lot of more Democrat comedians on there. So that's fine. Make that joke. But then don't get fucking poopy and upset when like a more right-leaning comedian comes back and makes fun of you.
Right.
I don't want to hear any bitching then.
Right.
And that's my thing with everything that has a political undertone is like, hey, it's fine, but fair is fair. If you're going to make a joke, don't be mad when somebody else makes a joke.
Yeah.
If you're going to do something, don't be mad when somebody else does it. So, I mean, I don't think it's something that we need to be like, oh my God, this guy needs to lose his job and get him fired. But at the same time, A, it wasn't even that funny. And B, when that many veterans are killing themselves every day, maybe that's not the right thing to joke about.
Right.
But that's just my 2 cents on it.
No, I can coincide with your beliefs as well. I'm open to all perspectives.
Good, you goddamn bigot.
I've been called a bigot on Twitter for no reason.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah, I know you have.
It's been great. Just that one time though. That's remember we talked about that last time. That's how you know when you made it. When some random person on Twitter can just start throwing hate your way.
I'm proud of you, man. You're on top.
Thank you. Featured on Podbean, getting called a bigot on Twitter. Man, I'm fucking growing, doing big things, grinding and shit. No, grinding's old. Grinding's out.
Yeah. Speaking of veterans, dude, Veterans Day is coming up. Veterans Day is Sunday.
You're welcome.
Yeah, everybody's welcome for my service.
Absolutely. Get in line, folks. Thank us later.
I will be taking thanks for my service all day.
All day, every day. Not just on Veterans Day, but every day.
On Veterans Day, I expect a little more, I really want you to show me how appreciative you are for my service.
We're going to have some extra company at the Applebee's this year,
Oh, yeah, man, though. Dr. Douchebag.
Dr. Douchebag. You picked up right what I was putting down.
He'll be there. He'll be there, man.
Dr. Douchebag and all the social justice warrior hero veterans will be there as well.
Because, and I can't wait, because I'd like to thank him for his service personally, because he deserves it. What a fucking hero. Slow clap,
Thank you for your sacrifice, Dr. Douchebag.
Yeah. Dr. Douchebag, man. But yeah, Veterans Day is coming up it's on Sunday. So nice 3-day weekend for everybody that gets a 3-day weekend. This guy
Who's
doesn't.
on a fucking 3-day weekend? I'm working this weekend.
This veteran's working.
Yeah. Thank me for my service while I work.
Are you going to go get free food?
No, I'm working.
Oh, come on. You can squeeze in a free McDouble or something.
A free McDonald's. I don't think McDonald's participates.
I don't think they do either.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of places around here that do stuff, but, we talked about, a little bit before, last, just you and I video swap cast, that I'm not really into it. It's cool.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it greatly. I really do. And, it's nice that a lot of companies come together and do that for veterans, but it's a fucking cluster.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a cluster fuck. The Applebee's, bro, that shit is that's like the most fucking lit an Applebee's is.
3-hour line, dude, to get a burger.
Yeah. A limited menu and a long ass wait. Again, appreciative. Not saying I'm not grateful for it, which I am, but not for me. I'm good.
Yeah, I was telling this story to a civilian the other day, and they had asked me, like, oh, are you going to go do it? And I was like, it makes me super uncomfortable. And the one time that I did it, I went to an Applebee's. And I was like, all right, it's crowded. I'm just going to go in. I'm just going to get my chicken tenders and call it a day. I took a deep breath and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I'm going to go in and I'm just going to do this. I open the door and there's like 400 Boy Scouts in there. And as soon as I walk through, they all start clapping and like grab me by the hand and walk me to my seat and like placed like a little crown on my head and were like waiting on me. And I was like, oh, this is simultaneously embarrassing and amazing. No, stop. No, I'm just kidding. Keep doing it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm good on all that. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm working this year, so no free Applebee's for this guy. Not like I would go on my off day. I would just take the day and spend it with my family and just kind of reflect on, the people we've served with and, raise a glass to the ones we've lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
that's kind of my thing for Veterans Day is, I always, I post up a thing on Facebook and tag my brothers in it that we served with and just, tell them all thank you for your guys' service. I like to go back and try and find like a cool group picture of all of us from Iraq or training or something. And then I call my grandpa. My grandpa's a Korean War vet, and I tell him, happy Veterans Day and thank him for his service. And that's kind of the way I like to spend my day and just hang out with the family and enjoy it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, unfortunately, I'll be spending my Veterans Day with my work fam, which they're cool peeps.
Yeah.
A lot of veterans I work with too anyway, so we can thank
you. You can thank them for their service.
Yeah, we will. We'll all day. Thanking each other for our service. You're welcome for my service.
Thank you for your service.
Dude, they you made that noise as a joke, but like the Sausage Castle.
Oh yeah.
Dude, fucking free blowjobs and shit, man.
Free blowjobs, man.
Dude.
Those poor porn stars, man. Their jobs.
No, dude, they're all for it.
I mean, maybe it's time we make a field trip, dude.
I mean, I'm married, bro. Like, I'm good. I'm good with it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Let me go wake up Shitty Nikki real quick and ask her.
I mean, is she bro, she's not going to listen to this episode. Are you sure?
Well, I'll just go wake her up real quick. Hang on. Pause for dramatic effect.
Yeah. Definitely wake your wife up and ask her if it's okay if you go to the Sausage Castle to get a blowjob for Veterans Day from a porn star.
For sure. And I'll disturbingly wake her up. I'll turn the lights on, I'll jump in the bed and like disturbingly wake her up. I'm not gonna like gently like, hey, babe. No, I'm just gonna like, babe, wake up. I got something to tell you.
Yeah,
hey, would it be cool if Brandon and I went down to the Sausage Castle and got blowies on Veterans Day?
Oh man, dude. I'd love leave the camera on your cell phone on the live stream while you do that.
I'll post up the results of this post episode launch.
Yeah, there's not going to be enough left of you to post up results, man.
No, none at all. Shout out to Shitty Nikki for putting up with my shenanigans.
So happy Veterans Day to all of our vets out there that are listening. You know, we had a company commander who always used to say it best, I think, and he would say, whether you served 3 years or 30 years, your service is important, and what you did was important, and never let anybody tell you that what you did wasn't important. It doesn't matter if you were a cook or an infantryman, which is the best and most important MOS in the entire military.
It is. It's the backbone.
You're all like almost as important as us, and so thank you for your service, and we appreciate it. The nation appreciates it, and you guys did a good thing. So. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. Happy Veterans Day to the vets out there. So, thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Free blowies at the Sausage Castle, if you're interested. Google that. I think it's in Florida.
I think sounds about right.
Yeah. Weird things happen in Florida a lot, so I would not be surprised if it's in Florida. I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway.
That's like the least surprising thing to happen in Florida.
That's true. There is some fucking weird shit in Florida, man. Weird shit. All right, so we're in November now. You know, we talked about Movember, and you know, again, I just want to plug one more time for for the listeners at home. If you guys could, you know, Brandon and I are trying to raise a really small dollar amount, $200 to go towards, you know, men's health. And all that, testicular cancer, prostate cancer. I had a friend who has testicular cancer. He did losing a testicle, and you know, I talked to him, you know, very, you know, intensely, and he's really been really open with the process and talking about it very openly. And you know, if you're listening to this, thank you for sharing your story with me and other people, and just bringing light to the situation. You know, because I don't have any statistics pulled up. #professional podcaster, but it's like 1 in, I don't know, I'm not even gonna make anything up right now, and a lot of men get some sort of prostate testicular cancer, something like that. So anyway, so guys, if you go to Movember.com/badnoise, you can donate. We're doing this all month long. Any dollar helps, guys. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's all for a good cause. It's a great thing. So if you can get out there and donate, just even a couple bucks, man, why not? Why not help out some men stay healthy and take care of themselves? I don't think there's anything better, you know?
I couldn't agree more, Brennan. So moving forward with this, the topic of, you know, we talk about men's health and Movember and stuff like that. You sent me over a list, 45 ultimate tips for men.
I did send you that list. You're very correct.
Yes. So we're gonna go through these, and we're gonna comment on some of these item numbers. Are you ready, Brandon?
Yeah. So let's go through and look at these, and if you have one that you really want to comment on, you know, just go ahead and spit it out, and we'll stop and talk about it a little bit more.
Okay. All right.
You want me to go ahead and start?
Yeah. What, you have the list pulled up too?
Yeah, I'll let you take number 1, and then we'll go, and then when you're ready, you can tap out. and I'll pick up from there.
So I keep having to refresh my browser because a fucking ad keeps popping up right in front of number one. So
that's why I let you take it.
It doesn't want me to take it.
So number one is go for women you perceive to be out of your league. You'll surprise yourself. Yeah, man, confidence. That really comes down to confidence, and that's an important thing. At any point in your life is you got to be confident with who you are and what you are and go out and fucking wreck shit.
Absolutely. All right. We can sail through these two. If we find a good one, we can kind of talk about it for a while.
Yeah.
Never have sex with anyone that doesn't want it as much as you.
That's called rape.
It is called rape, and I couldn't agree more. Especially in this culture today. Now, I'm not going to be a man and say that, like, women are destroying men, because that's a fucking shitty perception. Because there's so many fucking amazing, strong women out there. You know, if a woman doesn't want you, then guys, just stop. Like, go to the next one. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Plenty of fish in the sea.
Never hit anyone unless they are an immediate threat. That's just common sense.
You know, I do want to talk about that one real quick. So, obviously, you know Jocko Willink, right?
I do.
Oh, great guy. So I watched a clip from him yesterday, and he was talking about like a street fight, about that it's okay to run away from a fight. Like it is okay. You know, as men, we're kind of perceived as this, like, you know, don't take no shit. Like, you know, if someone fucks with you, fuck them up, whatever else like that. You know, Jocko Willink, if anyone has an opinion, it's Jocko. Like, he's a fucking former Navy SEAL commander. Like, you know, so there's that. But he talked about it's okay to run from a fight. And what he talked about was that if you get into a situation where someone comes up and they're trying to fuck with you, they're threatening you, throw a punch, whatever else, you know, get out of the situation, because you don't know how that situation could escalate. And, you know as well as I do, is that situations can, and most of the time will, escalate into something much worse than what you can handle. You know, he talked about how you don't know if this person has a gun, you don't know if they have a knife, you don't know if they have 5 more dudes waiting for you, you know, to fucking really beat the shit out of you. And to the contrary, you stand up. I'm fucking tough. You stand up and you fight these dudes, and then all of a sudden you kick the living fucking shit out of this dude. What happens next? You probably got a lawsuit at your hands. You know, then you're out paying this asshole lots of money for someone who threatened you first. You know.
Yeah, and that's something Jocko is big on, is checking your ego.
Mm-hmm.
And if for no other reason than for, hey, avoid a really expensive lawsuit or jail time.
Right.
Fuck it. Walk away, man. Is it worth beating some drunk dude's ass at the bar? Walk away.
Yep.
Easy.
Diddy Mao, get the fuck out of there.
And that's where you got to be man enough to know when something is a threat and when it's not.
Exactly. Use common sense, man. Easy.
Yep.
Too easy. All right. Number 4. Every hat should serve a purpose. I don't think that's great life advice.
No, I got no comment on that. That's weird. Never take her to the movies on the first date. You know, I've talked a little bit about getting back into the dating game now, and I'm 30. And I'll say that is actually pretty good advice. You know, get creative. Find something fun and interesting to do. Anybody can go to the movies at any time, but not anybody can take an evening and create like an experience that somebody's going to remember. So yeah, I'll say that from my own kind of experience. I like that.
Okay, yeah, I dig it. Be creative. I like it. Learn to wet shave. Brandon, you know all about that. Look at you.
I do, man. I before I grew out this luxurious beard, I did wet shave with I didn't use a straight razor. I used a safety razor, but definitely that's the way to go. Smooth ass shave. It's great. Learn to do it. Be cool.
Yeah.
Nothing looks more badass than a well-tailored suit.
I totally agree with that one.
I absolutely agree as well, man. You know, again, it kind of goes back to confidence. Have the confidence to rock something like that,
Yeah, man.
and to take care of yourself.
Yeah, dude, you look good, you feel good, you know? Like that's no like Pinterest bullshit. That's fact. Like if you can look at yourself in the mirror, full fucking confidence in a suit, man, like it's a force. That's a force right there to be reckoned with.
Yep, I like it.
So I'll take number 8 since you have a beard. Shave with the grain on the first go around. I would agree, unless you're like Teen Wolf like me and your facial hair grows like to almost a beard in one day. I cannot shave against the grain. It's impossible for me. I can't do it. So I applaud the men who can, because if I can do it once, right? But if I do it like say the next day, I fucking break out so bad. Like my face gets fucked up. So
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
maybe you should go back to, was it number 5 about a wet shave, or number 6 learn to wet shave? Maybe
Give it a
try a
shot.
different thing.
Number 9, always look a person in the eye when you talk to them. Again, this is a confidence thing again. Have the confidence to look at somebody while you're talking to them. And it's something that I've been trying to teach my kids is, you know, that's how you get to read a person. Look them in the eyes. See what their eyes are doing. If their eyes are darting around, if they're looking you back in the eyes, you can tell a lot about a person by doing that.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't agree more, Brandon. I couldn't agree more. I'm skipping 10 because that's stupid. I do like number 11, though. Exercise makes you happy, so run, lift, and play sports. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Agree, man.
I think that speaks for itself right there. I just started getting back into the gym. I've had a long stint off, which I am now, like, regretting. But I'm working out really fucking hard, and I'm seeing a lot of change in my body and a lot more confidence in myself. And it feels good. Like my muscles are developing again. Like I used to be pretty fucking ripped and in really good shape. And, you know, having kids and getting out of the military, I kind of let that go to the wayside. And you really, that's a major part of a lot of happiness. You know, you see all of the, you know, the entrepreneur people and, you know, people or influencer people and stuff like that. What do they all have in common for the most part? They all do some sort of fitness. They all either run or they lift weights or they do something to be proactive. They use their bodies. They use them. They don't just go sedentary after something. They don't get stuck. You know, that's what separates them, you know, from the guy who's not making millions of dollars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I agree. And, you know, I think we're kind of starting to get into that age too, where we might have to start dealing with like low testosterone and stuff like that. Or you hear about guys dealing with that. Bro, best way to naturally boost your testosterone, work out, be active.
Yep, absolutely.
It's my turn, huh?
It is.
Brush your teeth before you put on your tie. Again, fucking common sense, man.
Yep, self-explanatory. A small amount of your paycheck should go directly to your savings account every month. Yeah, that's just smart
absolutely.
finances right there.
That's how you get ahead, man.
Get ahead, put money back in case something shitty happens. You have money to pay for it.
Or, you know, just to reward yourself.
Yeah, that one time where, you know, you actually want that thing that's going to help you with something, or something you've been really looking forward to. You know, don't be afraid to, if you have it, you know, go ahead and splurge once in a great while. If you don't have it, if you have to put it on a credit card, don't do it. Don't do it.
Agreed. Call your parents every week. This is something I try and do. You know, just to check in on them, let them know I'm alive, see if they're alive. They could be dead. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, maybe I shouldn't have laughed, but again, there's that veteran dark humor.
Mom, Dad, if you're alive and you're listening to this, give me a call.
Nice save. Never wear a clip-on tie. Psh, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure how relevant that is anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
but you should definitely know how to tie a tie.
Yeah, at least
There's
a very
no excuse
basic
not to.
Windsor knot or something, you know.
Yeah.
But what I do is that once I figure out how to tie that tie, because it's not very often I wear one, I leave it tied and I just open it up, and then when I need to wear one, I just tighten it back up and good to go.
Give a firm handshake. again, confidence. This goes back to confidence. It also goes back to being able to kind of read people and judge people and looking people in the eye when you shake their hand and talk to them. It's a confidence thing. It shows that you're confident in yourself and your capabilities, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree with the handshake thing. I've met men before, and needless to say, I don't talk to those men anymore. And the first thing a lot of those men did, a fucking weak handshake, and it's like, oh, bro,
fuck that. Get out of here.
I'm gonna skip one. Never leave a pint unfinished. Yep, finish your beer, boys.
I agree. Life is too short.
Life's too short. Drink that fucking last sip.
Okay, we're going to get into this one because I'm not sure what I think about this. If you aren't confident, fake it. It will come. What do you think about that, Blake? Do you think that you should fake it till you make it?
Yep, absolutely. I honestly, really, yes. Because, if listeners, I'm going to plug my podcast real quick, Brandon. If you go back and listen to episode 49, I interviewed a gentleman named Garrett Wood. He basically helps people become better physically, mentally. He uses lots of tools like hypnotherapy, body movement, massage therapy, stuff like that. And we talked a lot in that episode about training your brain, about mindset and stuff like that. It goes back to something like this. If you feel horrible about yourself about one thing, I'm not good enough at whatever, you did not put that idea into your head. Like, you did not wake up that day and just think to yourself, I'm not good at such and such. No, someone else put that false idea into your head. Maybe you weren't the best at that task at one time because you weren't experienced with it yet. Maybe you had a bad day. We all wake up having bad days sometimes. Like, it is what it is. But now you go back into your brain and you kind of create like a mantra, right? It's like you look at yourself in the mirror and you just say, I'm fucking awesome. Even though how kind of weird that sounds, right? But like, I'm fucking awesome. Like, I'm the shit. Like, I can do this. If you make it a mantra and you make it a routine, your brain will develop that it'll naturally convince yourself that you are awesome and that you are the shit. And then when you're able to retrain your brain in that sense, good things will come. I mean, it's like people who listen to and have heard of Tony Robbins. Like, when he was starting out, he would go on his runs and he would just say to himself over and over, I'm the shit, I'm the shit, I'm the shit, until he was the shit. So literally, he faked it until he made it. So yeah, there's proof out there. You can fake it till you make it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that train of thought. I think you're pretty right on with that.
Okay.
Yeah, you're up.
You can tell the size of a man by the size of things that bother him. A little philosophical.
I like that.
A little philosophical.
That's deep.
A little bit. Okay. That can go a lot of different ways, I feel. But what comes to my mind with that is the armor that we wear as men and the blocks that we put up as men. And, I know I see that within myself throughout the days, and I try to recognize that as much as possible. And like I come up in a situation and I put my armor up, and then I catch myself doing it. I'm like, no. Like, this armor is not you. It's this false notion that you have to be this certain way. Like, no, just be yourself. Like, if this person is not cool with you, then you do not need to serve business to this person in whatever facet. And you just move on with your life. That's just what kind of pops into my head.
Yeah, and the way I looked at it is, small men get bothered by small things. Somebody messes up your order at the restaurant. Is it the end of the fucking world? Do you need to go on a 25-minute rampage about how stupid they are and how much they ruined your life? No, not a big deal.
No, it's really not. Like, there's people who don't eat at all, like, for several days. You know what I mean? Like, in the world, like, it's fine.
Save that for the important stuff. Don't sweat the small shit.
Yeah.
All right, 21. Be conscious of your body language. That's another good one, man. And it goes back to confidence. Hands in your pockets, slouching, looking at the ground, those are all things that are signs of bad body language and give away the fact that you're not confident. And like we just talked about, fake it till you make it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can look up online, a lot of books, stuff like that can teach you proper body language and stuff like that. If you have good body language, like, and you walk into, say, a job interview and you have really good body language, and like people pick up on that. The person who's interviewing, you know, you're confident, your posture's straight, you're looking straight forward, you know, you're probably 10 times more likely to be selected for something. Like say if it was a job, you know, if the person before you was slouched or whatever, maybe didn't look at the person interviewing in his face or in his eyes or something like that, you know, even though that person may be slightly more qualified, you'd probably get it just on the sheer fact that you're more confident.
Yeah, confidence goes a long way.
Kill it with confidence, man. Every day, all day. Hashtag rise and grind.
Boom.
I think 22 speaks for itself, but I feel like a lot of people may need to hear it. I'm just going to throw it out there. The only reason to ever point a gun at someone is if you intend to shoot them. Obviously. Yes.
Yeah.
But
common sense.
Yes. But a lot of people out there, they're not raised around guns, and they think they're big, scary things, which, you know, in the wrong hands, they can be, sure. But with proper training and respect and knowledge, you can make that just another tool. You know, just as a baseball bat could be used as a weapon, or a knife, or fucking a fork, a fucking table, a chair, whatever else. You know, anything's a weapon. But yeah, don't point a gun. Yeah, that's the first thing they teach you when you're a kid, is if you're you know, do not, like, how's it go? It's like, you know, do not, you know, pull the trigger. You know. Like what you,
there's 4 universal rules of gun safety.
And I'm tired, so forgive me, people.
There's 4 universal rules of gun safety. You treat every gun like it's loaded. You never point a gun at something you're not willing to destroy. You always need to be aware of what's beyond your target, and you always need to be aware of your environment while you're shooting. So, boom, those are my 4 universal safety rules right there.
Yes, I was planning on saying all that, but literally my brain just melted. And
I got you. That's why I'm here.
You got me, fam. Thanks, bro. It's early your time. It's midnight my time, bro. I'm pooped.
Yeah.
Anyway.
23. Always stand to shake someone's hand. Again, back to confidence, like you were just talking about with a job interview. You stand up to shake somebody's hand, and I'm going to add onto this too. Take your fucking gloves off. If you're wearing gloves and you're going to shake somebody's hand, take your gloves off.
Yeah, I agree. I'm skipping a little bit. I like 25 a lot.
I do too.
Yeah. So ask more than you answer. Everybody likes to talk about themselves. It's true. Very fucking true. Everybody likes, like, if you're meeting someone new, say you're on that first date, right? Ask that person more questions. Like, they should be doing all the talking. Let them talk about themselves. People love talking about themselves. Okay? If you can get people talking about themselves, and you're genuinely listening, and you're interested, and you're prompting more questions from there like that, you become such a more likable person to that person that you're trying to impress, or that person you're trying to date or meet, or whatever else. There's a really good book out there. Yeah. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's a great book. It's been in print for like over 70-something years. It was like printed back in like the 20s. Great book. I own it. I read it. I need to reread it again because it's been a little while. But yeah, and that's a big part of in that book, what he talked about being successful is, you know, you're trying to impress someone, prompt them with questions to have them talk about themselves. Make it seem like you're actually genuinely interested in what that person is interested in.
Yeah, I love it. I love everything about that. I think it's a great piece of advice. I'm going to skip 26. I think that's stupid. 27, buy high-quality tools so you only have to buy them once. And let's just up this to more than just tools. Buy high-quality everything when you can. A lot of things, they're expensive because they're quality. And normally, the better the quality, the longer it's going to last, and the less money you have to spend in the long run. Blake, I know you do a lot of home improvement stuff. You do a lot of your own like repairs on the house and putting floors and stuff in. I'm sure that you've had to buy your fair share of tools. Do you go pretty high quality, or do you just buy the Walmart Blue Light Special, man?
No, man. I think that's Kmart Blue Light. I don't know. I'm just joking.
Hey, whatever.
No, man. Yeah, you got to buy the good shit because it'll last you a lot longer. I know it's expensive up front, but you'll save yourself more money in the end. If you buy that shit tool, you're gonna buy more of those shit tools over and over again, and you're gonna spend over what you would have spent on that one-time purchase of something high quality. That's given.
Yep, agreed.
Mm-hmm. I'm skipping ahead a little bit. Some of these are okay. Manliness is not only being able to take care of yourself, but others as well. Yeah, absolutely. Take care of others. You'll feel so much better by giving more than receiving. That's pretty self-explanatory right there.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to skip 29 and move on to 30. This again goes back to confidence. When you walk, look straight ahead, not at your feet. This is something that they trained us on when we were in the military, to not look at our feet when we're walking, because you need your head up, you need your eyes up to scan for threats and the environment and all that stuff. But it's in the civilian world, it's just as important. And honestly, it might be even more important. I know when I'm out with my kids, sometimes they're not paying attention. And if we're walking through a parking lot and I'm looking at the ground while I walk, one of them is going to get walled by a car because I'm not paying attention. So, and it's a confidence thing too. Look up, look around, be aware of your environment, look at people, not at your fucking feet.
Yeah. I see that a lot, man. I see a lot of people when they're walking around looking down at the ground and shit like that. Like, that just oozes a lack of confidence. And like, it's like you can see like a wall that's like built up around that person, and it makes them not approachable. Don't be that person, be confident in your steps, That's all I got on that.
Agreed.
Find your passion and figure out how to get paid for it. I'm working on it.
Hashtag grind life.
Yeah. Fucking hashtag podcaster, bruh. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Do what you love. The money will follow. That's truth.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually,
the tricky part
it's
is
a lot
just
of hard
getting
work. It's not just mantras and meditations and shit, man. You got to put in that work. But as long as you love what you're doing, man, the universe will provide. I fully believe in that.
I do too. Don't let the little head do the thinking for the big head. I'm gonna guess that the little head is my dick, but that thing is fucking massive. So maybe we need to switch those around.
Don't let the big head do the thinking for the big head.
But I do agree, don't always think with your dick. Sometimes you got to think your way through a situation, and not every time. Now, maybe most of the time, the best solution is to fuck it, but not all the time. Okay?
Yeah.
The dead body, probably not to fuck it.
No, you don't want to do that. Yep. You kind of grew up hearing that one too. Think with the big head, not the little one.
Yeah, especially as men.
But to take the sexuality portion out of it, I think more deeply, pun not intended, is that the little head would be a reference to like thinking irrationally, thinking on the spot without really giving anything a more of a thought process. You're thinking really quickly, very irrationally. You're not thinking things through, clear-headed. That's where the big head comes in. You're supposed to process certain things and not just make on-the-spot decisions. I mean, there are situations where that is applicable, yes, but maybe not all. So you need to learn to differentiate between what needs to be an on-the-spot decision and what can take time to sit on the back burner and really ponder about and come up with the best solution.
Yep, agreed.
Yep. The most important thing you can learn is personal responsibility. Bad things happen. It's your job to overcome them. Dude, we all fucking face.
I love this.
Every day is a battle, man. Every day is a battle. If you, whatever it is that you're doing, if you take it step by step like that, and if you have a challenge, it's a battle. You have to go back to Jocko Willink, man. I learned a lot of inspiration from that guy with that whole line there about every day is a battle. You wake up early. You don't want to work out. First of all, getting up early, that's a battle. Getting up at 4 or 5, whatever time you get up in the morning, and you do it because you have to. Not necessarily. If you do it on your own accord, that's even more of a fucking battle. Like if you're doing it just because you have to get up and go to work, that's one thing. That's a given almost, right? But if you're getting up on your own accord to take care of business, that's you're getting up, you're doing it, you won. You already won that battle. You're starting your day off on a good note right there. But there is going to be road bumps in everyday life, as we all face all the time. So you got to adapt, overcome, sometimes improvise, and if not, fake it till you make it, man.
Yeah, and to take it back to Jocko for a minute, he talks about extreme ownership, and that's the process of taking responsibility for everything, even things that you might not look at and say like, oh, that's my fault, but taking ownership of it and finding a way to fix it and solve the problem. And that's a huge thing in life, man. I think it's probably one of the most important lessons you can learn is personal responsibility and not passing the buck on to somebody else. So if I had to pick one so far, that's probably one of the most important ones we've talked about.
Yeah, I'd say top 3, yeah.
The first one to get angry loses. Duh. Keep your cool. Don't let yourself get carried away during an argument. Keep calm. Stay rational.
Mm-hmm.
It works out better for you in the long run.
This next one here, I couldn't agree with more. Do what needs to be done without complaining. It won't help speed things up.
Absolutely disagree.
You want to bitch about the whole thing and then just walk away?
Duh. E4 Mafia for life, baby.
For a second, I'm like, you just totally threw me off.
E4 Mafia for life.
The good old Sham Shield. That's okay for a while, for a minute, because you fucking work so goddamn hard, and then you get that Sham Shield, you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna chill for a little while. And then you're like, fuck, man, I should probably do something.
I do agree with this one, too, and, that's common sense. Complaining doesn't get any more work done. Buckle down, grab your fucking dick, and get the job done.
Grab the little head.
Never stop learning. Duh.
Yes.
Obvious.
Yes.
Don't ever stop learning. Nobody ever knows anything.
Yeah.
How
always.
The fuck do I even have to say that?
And challenge yourself too. Find something new that you don't know much about and dive into it. If you're doing something and you are passionate about it, but you're not getting the results that you want, it's because you don't know enough about it. And you see someone else doing that thing that you're doing, and they're being more successful. It's probably because they know more about it. Whatever it is. We'll use podcasting as an example. If say you're really thrown off the wall here, say your quality is really fucking bad, right? I'm not saying this podcast is an NPR podcast by any means. However, I would pat myself in the back for a half decent job at editing and the overall quality. That alone puts it above the bar of other podcasts out there that may have some pretty good content, but they sound like absolute hot shit. And I can only deal with bad quality for so long until I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
But it's because that person has one up on you because they know more than you, essentially. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant. That's just truth. And that facet goes into so many different, possibilities in business and wherever else in your life. Never stop learning. I couldn't agree more.
Yep.
Don't change your. Oh, this is my favorite, Brandon. This is it right here. Don't change yourself just to make someone happy, unless that someone is you. I couldn't agree more, and we see that so fucking much. I've been that way before. I've been like, man, this person's cool. I want to be friends with them, or I want to be in a relationship with them, whatever else. So you kind of change the mode of what your truth is to fit their bill, and then you end up being super fucking miserable and wondering why you're so miserable. It's because you're not living your fucking truth. You're living in a lie, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Again, couldn't agree more with this one. Dude, this next one, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yes.
I absolutely agree. We've talked about the book Tribe by Sebastian Junger and about how important it is to find your tribe and be part of a tribe. But it's also important to be around people that better you. Be around people that are better than you, that make more money than you, that are smarter than you, because you can learn from them. Surround yourself with success. Don't surround yourself with people that are the same as you or that are less than you, because then you've peaked.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you said it perfectly there. Yeah. Yep, surround yourself with people who are going to challenge you, not people who wallow in the pity. Fuck.
Absolutely.
If people are negative and they're distasteful and the first thing out of someone's mouth is something negative or whatever, just no. Get away from it. That's toxic. That negative toxicity. It will ruin you. It will ruin any potential chance that you have of getting better at something. Whatever it is. If someone in your life is constantly bitching and just crying about everything, get away from it. Don't be a part of that. Get yourself out of that situation completely. It's okay to cut ties off with people. You know what I mean? If someone's dragging,
you have to, man.
Dude, misery loves company, man. You know, it's the law of attraction. You know, if you're bringing in negativity within people and things into your life, guess what's going to bring everywhere else? Negativity, bad people who are going to drag you down through in the mud with them. Don't be like that, man. Fucking surround yourself with people who are much better than you are, and be humbled and learn.
Agreed.
Do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do in the life, but be the best at it. Not sure if that's exactly grammatically correct, but we're going to roll with it.
Fuck it.
Do what you want in life, but be the best at it. Yeah, that goes back to almost all the points that we talked about. If you're going to do something, be the best at it. There's competition in everything. You know, in every aspect of every world that you live in. If you're whatever it is you're doing, there's someone out there is probably doing it, and they're doing it better than you are. So if you want to be more successful, you got to be better. Be the best at it, and then you'll find success there.
Agreed. Again. And the last one on the list. No one is on their deathbed wishing they spent more time at work. Enjoy your life. Dude, agreed. We all have to work. That's the way that we support ourselves and our families, and that's the way we get through all of this. But take the time to do stuff with your family. Take the time to live your life. Take the time to enjoy all the hard work that you're putting into life. And that's how you stay happy. You have to have a good work-life balance. Agreed.
Couldn't agree more. It's a very delicate balance, but it's definitely obtainable. It's achievable.
Yeah.
You know, people who just work and they do nothing, they're miserable. You know, you got to find happiness somewhere. And you got to take care of yourself. That's number one. If you're happy and you're well taken care of, you can give back to others. Because if you're not taken care of, then you're worthless to everyone else around you and your tribe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Fuck.
Agreed. Yeah.
That's a good list. I like doing that. That was hopefully we didn't lose many listeners there, but you know, hopefully men out there relate. Get back to us. What are some of your major life points of advice you want to share with us and the fellow listeners? Hit us up on social media.
Yeah, let us know if there's something on there that we missed, or if you have a piece of life advice that maybe your dad shared with you, or something that you think could be helpful to all of our listeners. Let us know.
Yep, absolutely.
Throw it out there.
It's there. We're here for you guys just as much as we are here for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can thank us for our service later.
Yep, Sunday.
Goddamn right.
Well, fuck, man. I guess that about wraps the show up for this evening, Brandon.
Yeah, we're an hour and almost 35 minutes in.
A good hour and 35 minutes. It's a good time, as always. And listeners out there, we appreciate you so much. We love you from the bottom of our hearts. Brandon, tell the people where they can find you.
So you guys can find me on the Instagram at Badass American Heroes Podcast, over on Facebook, Badass American Heroes Podcast. You can also shoot me an email, badassamericanheroespodcast@yahoo.com. I'm on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and on YouTube. Just go on to all those great places and search Badass American Heroes Podcast, and boom, you will find it. And you can like it and share it and review it and tell me how brilliant I am. I appreciate it.
And Brandon, for people who are listening to the Swapcast from my podcast perspective, what's your podcast about?
So the Badass American Heroes Podcast is a bi-weekly journey into some of the stories of bravery and heroism and dedication to duty and strength that are brought to you by America's veterans. So every other week I go in and I interview a service member that served in the military, and we talk about their lives. We talk about lessons that they learned throughout their service, things that they were able to take from their service and put to use in the civilian sector. We listen to some funny stories, some sad stories, and overall, we try and gain a different perspective on life that maybe other people don't have, that haven't been in combat or in the military or overseas or have seen and heard things like this. But, you know, they can learn important lessons from people that have. And that's really what it's all about, is sharing that information and also recording these stories for the next generation of people that won't get to hear them unless it's through the podcast. So, boom, that's the Badass American Heroes Podcast.
Hell yeah. Merca.
Blake, you got a podcast too, though, don't you?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to do that. I was sitting here like, is he gonna say, Blake, it's your turn?
It's a featured podcast on Podbean, so it's super easy to find right now.
Yeah. So my name is Blake. I host a podcast called The Noise Pollution Podcast. And in a world polluted with noise, this podcast brings the clarity. Do you like that? I just rewrote that last week.
No, man, it was good. I'd have never known that you just came up with it right now.
I didn't. I wrote that last week.
Oh, you did? Okay, well, it's great.
It's how I describe the podcast now. Anyway, so Noise Pollution Podcast, it's so look, if you like podcasts like Joe Rogan, whatever else, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of seriousness, kind of talk about everything under the sun, literally fucking everything. We got controversy, conspiracies, awesome guests, Swapcast, you name it, I do it. It's the one-stop shop podcast for all things life. One-stop shop podcast for all things relevant in your life. And as Brandon said, like his podcast, mine can also be listened to on the same lovely platforms as Brandon spoke of. And don't forget, Brandon, we're on YouTube as well. Hello. I don't know if you said that or not.
What?
I
think I did mention it, yes.
Oh, well, yeah, we have video swapcasts on YouTube, guys, so go back and check them out. Again, apologize real quick. I have to mention that this episode is not in video format. It didn't really work out this week. Brandon's got a lot of shit going on, as do I. So logistically speaking, to get recorded video and get it edited out in a good time for you guys, it would have been like a month until a video fully edited could have been out to YouTube for you guys. But we promise next Swapcast will be in video format, unless we have a guest, of course. But you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, you can like my shit on social media as well. Facebook, Instagram, at Noise Pollution Podcast. I have a closed group on Facebook as well. So anyone's free to join. We can talk about things there. And on Twitter, at Pollution Radio. And that's where you can find me. But Brandon, as always, man, this has been a blast. I love sitting down with you. Yeah, it's always a good time, man.
It is always fun, man. And I enjoy getting to do these a couple times a month with you. We always get really weird.
We do get weird. We've been so much weird before. So guys, go back and listen to those.
We have episodes. A whole episode we're sitting on that got so weird. I'm pretty sure I'm a registered sex offender after that episode.
Oh my God. I've that episode, I have a special place for it in my mind, and it's way in the back.
Maybe one day.
It's way in the back, tucked in deep somewhere that even I can't find.
Maybe one day
sometimes.
we'll let everybody in on it, but not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon, folks. And we're just gonna let you dangle in that. What do you call that when you dangle something in front of someone's face? Help me out.
We'll
with
call
the
it a
smart word.
cliffhanger. I don't know.
Cliffhanger. God, you're so smart.
I got a bachelor's degree from one of them online schools.
The best education I got was in the Army. And that's going to do it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here for Swapcast numero 7 of the Badass American Noise Hero Pollution Podcast of America. I am Blake.
And I am Brandon.
Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you. We love you. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace out, Boy
Happy
Scout.
Veterans Day, veterans out there.
Yes, a big happy Veterans Day. We salute you. We thank you. We love you.
Night.
Good night, kids.